It's been 2 months since Bill Auberlen and Turner Motorsport scorched the field in round 1 of the Speed Touring Car Championship. This guy's been the class act of the field. It's going to be tough for anyone to take the fight to Billy Auberlen this year. The series now shifts to Mosport Park in Canada, a blindingly quick circuit known for its sweeping corners and high speeds. In recent trips north of the border, these drivers have provided the action for the Canadian fans. Expect more of the same as over 40 touring cars take to this historic raceway next on Speed.
The season no sooner got underway and then it stopped. It seems like forever since we were at Sebring for the season opener, but we're back. This is the long-awaited second round of the Speed Touring Car Championship, part of the SCCA World Challenge from Mosport International Raceway here in Canada. Hello everyone, I'm Lee Diffie along with Johnny O'Connell. And Johnny, as far as tracks to race at, this is one of the best.
Lee, everybody loves coming to Mosport. It's extremely fast, long flowing corners, and it always lends itself to great racing.
The big news this weekend, folks, we have a new manufacturer in this series, and they align themselves with reigning champion Peter Cunningham. Calvin Fish caught up with him.
Nissan Motorsports is very excited about this series. They like the manufacturer involvement from all the different companies that are now involved. I think 11 different companies are now actively involved in this championship. So it's really a great place to be. Our starting point was not just a stab in the dark. We know what it takes in this series to do well, and we put our best foot forward to try to do just that. If we could get a top 10 finish, that would be remarkable in either one of these next 2 races, but you know, there's just no guarantee of that because the series is just so competitive.
Well, Nissan has quite a rich heritage as far as production car racing in North America, over 3 decades worth. So here we go, we continue that. Time now to take a look at this marvelous track. Johnny, talk us round.
You know, Lee, like I mentioned before, Mosport is one of the best tracks in North America. Very fast, long flowing corners. Clayton Corner in particular is unique in that you come over it, it's a rise, and then the whole corner falls away from you. Where we're going to see a lot of passing, though, is going into Moss Corner and coming out of Moss Corner is critical because the Mario Andretti straightaway is uphill. That makes it very difficult. You got to get a good run out of there to get by somebody going to the end of the straight.
At the opening round in Sebring, it was Bill Auberlen and his BMW on the pole. Here for the second round, it's Mike Fitzgerald in the IS 300 Lexus. Jeff Oldenburg, a big improvement from Sebring as well. He starts outside the front row in his Mazda. Pierre Klein-Ubing will be strong as he has been over the past few years here at Mosport. And Will Turner, very pleased with his qualifying performance. Matt Plum, quite strong in the BMW also, row 3, alongside Peter Cunningham. An extremely strong qualifying effort in the new Nissan. Auberlen, the points leader, will start from row 4. Row 5, John Crawl alongside Ken Dobson, the Audi versus BMW Challenge. Row 6, and starting alongside Shauna Marinis, we welcome back Scott Bradley. He drives today with the OPM Motorsports entry in the Mazda Speed Protege. He's had quite a break. Some rookies there. Tim Pappas had a good strong run at Sebring. We'll look forward to him. We also welcome back to Neil Sapp and Nick Johnson, both signed up for the next 2 races here and at Lime Rock. They are looking forward to that. Robert Stretch starts on the 10th row. Johnny, talk us through the difference. A good start we know is imperative always, but do you get particularly punished here for a bad start?
Well, you certainly do. I mean, this is such a competitive field when we look at the times that guys were turning in qualifying, how close everybody is. You know, that position you lose at the start can cost you a lot. Those positions that you gain are huge. And when you look at a guy like Bill Auberlen, you know, or the guy that won Sebring, when he goes in at the start here, he's starting 9th. So it's going to be very difficult for him to get to the front regardless. Guys like Kleinebing, who we know are strong, getting a good start for them, it's going to be critical.
Manufacturer diversity is one of the high points of this championship. BMW at Sebring and Lexus here.
Lee, in a spectacular qualifying session here this morning with 3 cars, 3 different makes separated by a mere 0.03 of a second. But ultimately, it was Mike Fitzgerald who claimed the pole position, the very first for the Lexus IS 300 in Speed Touring Car competition. And Mike, this car's a little bit heavier than some of the competition around you on the grid. How will it fare over a race distance today?
Yeah, Kelvin, we're the heaviest car in the field, so we've had troubles historically with being a little bit of a one-lap wonder, but the Team FBR transport crews worked really hard on that, and we're hoping it'll pay off today.
Well, Mike struggled a little bit with rear tyre wear at round 1 in Sebring. They've been working hard with the rear suspension settings. I asked the team how Mike describes this. He said it has a little bit of a butt wiggle. If he can keep that wiggle under control, he may stand at the top of the podium this afternoon, Lee.
And that's Johnny's job today, to keep an eye on that butt wiggle, and we'll monitor that throughout the race for sure. Let's see what the Turner Motorsports organisation can come up with today. Can anyone catch Fitzgerald?
Over 20 years ago, we introduced the first quattro all-wheel drive race car and turned the world upside down. We are about to do it again.
There's a rhythm to the road, and we have the Toyo tire to fit you, like the new all-season Proxys TPT, Total Performance Touring Tire. Premium performance handling in any weather and a smooth, comfortable ride for world-class luxury performance touring sedans and coupes. Tire dealers themselves have named Toyo #1 in product quality. That's harmony with tire dealers, drivers, and the road.
The climb to the top is never easy. To make it, you need the biggest ATV Honda has ever built. 650 cc's, fully independent rear suspension, sport-tuned automatic. The Rincon from Honda. To get here, you've got to be the best on earth.
There are a lot of reasons to talk life insurance with Prudential Financial. After all, we've been growing wealth and protecting it for 125 years, with hundreds of offices all over the country, where we offer professional one-on-one advice to help you find the coverage you need at a price you'll like, all from a name you know and trust. Talk to the people with more than $1 trillion of life insurance in force today. Prudential Financial, growing and protecting your wealth.
Even in the beginning, we were building some of the most technologically advanced cars in the world. We still are.
Speed Channel's coverage of the Speed Touring Car Championship is brought to you by BMW. Visit your local BMW centre for a test drive. BMW, the ultimate driving machine. Welcome back to Mosport International Raceway as the cars grid up. A beautiful day for racing in the low 60s. Blue skies, absolutely perfect to go racing.
It really is. You know, the engine's like this. You know, all the drivers, their comfort's going to be good. So as we look at 5-second board here, boy, I'm really excited. I think we're going to have another good round.
Fitzgerald on the left of screen. Jeff Altenberg in the Mazda Protege. The blue and white entry on your left. Let's see how that Lexus climbs off the line. And Fitzgerald does get away to a pretty good start. So too does the Audi of John Prawl. Lightning start, and here comes Pierre Klein-Newbing on the inside as well. Immediately dives into second.
You know, that was a great start by Fitzgerald. You know, we know he's carrying a little bit more weight, so I was a little concerned to see how he'd get off the line, but he did a super job.
Now look at this. Jeff Altenberg fights back. Take that, Pierre. Good forceful stuff from the Mazda pilot. So Klein-Newbing is forced back to third. It's Mike Fitzgerald, our pole sitter, is the race leader. We ride now with Jeff Altenberg.
Boy, you know, you gotta love that shot, and it really gives you a good idea, you know, as to what the elevation change is. Right now here, you're really going steeply downhill, going into Moss Corner, but then the road comes back to you right there, and it helps your car stop. Yeah, it's just such a beautiful racetrack. The scenery, the crowd here is great, but the flow of the circuit is amazing. And as we watch, you can see the elevation change and get a real appreciation for what these drivers are enjoying right now.
Huge field, as you can see. Oh no! The Nissan looks like it is out. This is reigning champion Peter Cunningham, so it's a huge weekend for he and Team RTR with this brand new Nissan Sentra, and it looks like his day is done.
Which is really unfortunate for Peter, but again, you know, I've raced with Nissan for about 5 years in the early 90s, and they're a company that is extremely committed to motorsports. You know, they left for a while. I love seeing them get back in because they've got some great products, and I think they've chosen the right guy in Pete Cunningham. He's done a great job in everything that he's done in World Challenge, and you know, they had bad luck today, but that's part of the new program. You're going to have those failures before you have your successes.
Well, you always go through those teething problems, don't you? There's Shauna Marinus putting some pressure on as she picks up another position. Teething problems are normal, aren't they?
It's part of every program. I mean, you look in, you know, in right now in the American Le Mans Series, Audi did not go and win right away. The Corvette did not go in and win right away. You have a few races that you lose, but if you have smart people, you figure it out, and before you know it, you are winning. And I think it's going to be a very short time before we see that Nissan run into the front.
Very impressive start from John Prohl in the Audi. He has rocketed from 10th up to 4th. We highlighted that when he came off the grid. He's now ahead of Matt Plum. Then you've got the two Turner Motorsports BMW 325i's, and Will Turner has the upper hand on our points leader at the moment, Bill Auberlen. Ken Dobson in behind him. Chuck Hemmingson in there also. Off to a good, clean start.
Yeah, you know what? We really are. I mean, you love seeing a start like this. There hasn't been any contact that we've seen. And Fitzgerald's doing a good job. You know, right now he's, I'm sure, just trying to get a good rhythm going. But it's rare in this type of racing that you see one guy pull away. So although he's got himself about half a second lead right now, I don't expect it's going to stay that way.
And again, we saw Shauna Marinus and Ken Dobson earlier. They're having a nice scrap. We ride with Pierre Klein-Ubing, a multiple-time winner here at Mosport in the past. And he is at the right end of the field again, following Jeff Altenberg.
You know, we saw Altenberg as we going through turn 9 there. That's a long corner at the end of the straightaway, the right-hander getting his car loose, and these guys are working hard. I know sometimes you watch on TV, it doesn't look, you know, like they're going that fast or sliding that much, but these guys, when you see the onboard camera shots, watch how much their cars are moving. I mean, these guys are right on the edge all the time.
Riding there with Pierre Klein-Ubing, you can see he's running third in the real-time racing. Acura RSX. And real-time racing have been working hard, incidentally, since Sebring. They had a test day and still getting over the transfer from the Integra to the RSX.
Yeah, you know that they are, but something that was really interesting when we finished Sebring, you know, and they did the interview with Pierre, you could see a spark in his eye, and you hear some excitement in his voice. I think he knows that he's got a very strong package, and as the season progresses, I think they're going to become really tough.
Well, there is one of the sights that we will remember. Peter Cunningham out of the race. Let's get an update from Calvin Fish.
Well, team manager for the new team RTR is Nathan Bonneau. And Nathan, impressive qualifying performance, but PD, what put him out today?
The clutch blew up, and you know, we're real happy with the qualifying. You know, it's a learning curve for us, and we'll be back for Lime Rock.
Are you surprised that you can come into this ultra-competitive series and perform that well first day out?
Not surprised, but we're happy, that's for sure.
Okay, well, they'll try and rebound and come back strong at Lime Rock.
Again, let's always take a positive out of any negative situation. That was a super qualifying performance from that team, and Peter Cunningham to start that brand new car from 6th here at Mosport. High-speed, demanding circuit. They came up with the goods in qualifying, and they'll be back at Lime Rock, no doubt about that.
You know they are, and again, they're just going to get stronger as things go on here. But an interesting thing right now is we see Altenberg really starting to try to put the pressure on Fitzgerald there in first, and trying different lines, making old Fitzgerald there watch his mirrors and challenge him. That's what you want to do. You want to always be positioning your car in a different place so that fellow that's leading doesn't know what to expect.
Lexus IS 300 from Mazda Protege, from Acura RSX, from Audi A4, from BMW 325i. Great diversity in the cars up front. And it's Mike Fitzgerald who has led ever since the moment the lights went out. Let's ride with Klein-Ubing.
Don't you love it? Just a beautiful sound. You know, it's so cool when you ride around town these days. You used to see all the big V8s running around town. Now, you know, in my town, it's all these small cars that have the exhaust. And boy, I tell you, it's a beautiful sound. You see them coming down here at the end of the straightaway. It looks like Fitzgerald has a little bit of engine right now on Altenberg. He's opening up a little bit of gap down that straightaway, and I think maybe Altenberg's working a little bit better in these tight corners because he seems to close the gap a little.
Quick question, are you surprised to see Bill Auberlen that far back with his teammate? I mean, he's not too far back, but we haven't seen him up in the top 3 yet.
You know, he was really strong at Sebring, and so this is a little bit of a surprise, but Billy's tough. It's still a long way to go.
We'll be back, plenty more.
Let's circle back to Cincinnati with those figures, you know. I'm worried about Ted.
Oh, no. It's off? Okay, I'll be right there. Guys, I gotta go.
I think we can achieve substantial market penetration in the Pacific Rim.
That's awful. Really sorry, but I have to go.
The new Boxster. It is perhaps the perfect getaway car.
Speed Channel is gonna give you a shot to be the dude for a day. We're giving away a Speed leather jacket every week and the chance for one lucky dude to win a trip to Laguna Seca, hang out behind the scenes, and rock the corkscrew on their very own special edition Kawasaki Ninja ZX6R. Tune into Two Wheel Tuesday for the weekly code word. Then enter to win at SpeedTV.com. Two Wheel Tuesday's the Dude for a Day contest, only on Speed Channel.
Something's gonna happen. It needs to happen now.
They're calling your name.
Now playing on pay-per-view.
How are you feeling about you? You're gonna be great.
8 Mile. Order 8 Mile on pay-per-view and see scenes from the new 50-cent DVD, The New Breed. Plus, learn how to enter the On the Set with Shady sweepstakes, where you can win a trip to the set of Eminem's next music video or one of over 10,000 50-cent DVDs. 8 Mile. Now playing on pay-per-view.
This month, catch the most intense martial arts event, K1 Battle of the Beast. 8 men enter, 1 man survives. Direct Ticket Pay-Per-View presents K1 Enter the Beast. K1's top North American fighter, Michael McDonald, legendary 6-time world champion Rick Rufus, and Kung Fu superstar Kung Lee. Direct Ticket Pay-Per-View, K1 Enter the Beast. Witness the greatest knockouts in the ring and the toughest fighters in the world, Rick Rufus, Michael McDonald, and Kung Lee. It's K1 Enter the Beast on Direct Ticket Pay-Per-View.
Welcome back to Mosport as the SCCA World Challenge Speed Touring Car Championship continues. Look at this. John Kroll is all over Pierre Klein-Ubing. And Johnny, have you noticed we're missing someone? Whilst we're away, Jeff Altenberg has slid back.
Yeah, you know, that's unfortunate. I'm sure he has some sort of mechanical problem, and it looks like here he is right now coming into pit lane.
What a shame. Strongest qualifying performance of the year and best race run so far. That is a real shame to see. And we're just guessing at the moment, but that looks pretty terminal. Jeff Altenberg has certainly lost his second place and is out of the hunt.
You know what, Lee had such a great race going that this is frustrating for him, but sometimes you get a little bit frustrated. You know, you don't get the result, but you have to look down the road, and he's shown us some good stuff today.
Well, you saw Calvin Fish right there. We'll hear from Calvin shortly. Meanwhile, let's get back to this because Mike Fitzgerald has now been afforded some breathing room. We ride with Fitzgerald. Let's take a listen. Working that Lexus as hard as he can. Klein-Ubing, the pressure's there.
Yeah, you know, John Kroll's doing a super job. As we watch him go up the straightaway here, though, you can see how the straightaway's bending, so you're moving from side to side as we see Kroll taking a peek on the outside in that Audi. He's looking really strong here. I like seeing this, you know, this last corner, and you know, Klein-Ubing's probably looking behind him saying, who is this guy behind me? And wondering what he's got to do to defend himself. But right now, there's a strong battle here for second place.
Stasis Engineering, Audi A4. Now coming under pressure from Matt Plum, one of our many rookies in this year's championship, former Barber Dodge Pro Series driver, doing very well in the BMW, ahead of Bill Aublin. Yep, while we're away, Bill got the better of his teammate, so Will Turner's been pushed back one position. Klein-Ubing for real-time racing continues the surge, trying to bridge that gap. And look, he's been able to get away a little bit from John Kroll, and now he begins the hunt for Mike Fitzgerald.
You know what, and it's really interesting because, you know, one of the things that we seem to always talk about it is how clean your lines are. And if we watched, you know, when Kroll was right on him, he was really nice and clean. But about 3-4 corners in a row, John Kroll was running wide of his apexes. And in this category of cars where everything's so close, you can't afford to drift and be wide of your marks, because you can see real quickly how quickly that time adds up, and he's lost some valuable ground to Klein-Ubing.
A little deeper in the field, we have a look at those a little further back. Meanwhile, we get back to it. There's Ken Dobson. And just a little footnote on John Kroll and the Stasis Engineering Audi team. He has a rookie teammate here this weekend, Jeff Pabst, but we'll have an additional teammate at the next round at Lime Rock, former Trans Am racer Justin Bell, who did very well and won the GTS class recently at Birmingham, Alabama in the Rolex Sports Car Series. So we very much look forward to seeing Justin at the next round.
Well, and Justin's going to be very strong because he knows these types of cars. Remember, Justin runs his own driving school down in Florida. He gets a lot of track time, so he's one of these guys, because of the driving school, he can show up, be quick right off the bat, and I'm sure he's going to be a good addition to that program.
If you've just joined us, we lost second place driver Jeff Altenberg in the Mazda Protege. He was having an awesome run. Let's hear from Calvin Fish now. He's caught up with Jeff.
After not finishing at Sebring, Jeff Altenberg rebounded to sit on the front row, Jeff, but this is devastating in the championship. Another DNF today. What put you out?
Looks like we had a throttle body broke on us. I was going down the back straight, and it just felt like the throttle stuck wide open. I got it slowed down, and then there was just no throttle response. It was a pretty big disappointment for the Tri-Point team because, man, they've done such a fantastic job with this Mazda Protege, and we were hounding Mike Fitzgerald there. He was kind of holding us up in a couple places, so I don't think it was long before we would have been in the lead.
Where is that Lexus strong? I mean, sitting on the pole has to be quick somewhere. Where was he strong today?
It was real strong in that back straight. I know people used to say the Mazda's strong, but he pulled me 3-4 car lengths, and surprisingly enough, I was getting them pretty good through 8, 9, and 10, and then kind of back and forth through the rest of the course. So when I came across the front straight, it probably looked like I was right on his bumper, but at the end of the back straight, he probably had 3-4 car lengths on me.
All right, a front rebound as well, but really a big blow. 2 DNFs in a row for Jeff Altenberg.
Yeah, disappointing stuff for he and his team, but he'll be back at Lime Rock. Johnny, interesting to hear there that the Lexus pulled him in the straight line. Mike Fitzgerald saying, oh, this is a big old heavy thing, but there's still plenty of grunt there.
He's got a lot of grunt, but I mean, as we're on board here with Pierre, it didn't seem like he was pulling Pierre at all. So obviously we've got 2 cars at the front there that aren't lacking in the horsepower department. Right now, look at how tight that Pierre's running. He's using all the road, and that might pay dividends here. Right now, he's got to really stay close to Fitzgerald, though, keep the pressure on him.
Speaking of pressure, Bill Auberlen, Sebring race winner in the Turner Motorsports BMW 325i, applying plenty of pressure to the rookie Matt Plum in another BMW. We ride again with Klein Newbing.
Just beautiful right now. They're running down the hill, going up to the gearbox, coming up the Moss corner where they're going to be braking really hard. You see them coming down the hill, and it's so hard going through that corner because you're turning, you're trying to slow down, grab your gears. It's a really tricky and technical part of the racetrack, but this is a corner that's critical. Okay, coming out on the long straightaway, going up to the gearbox, getting that good shot out of there. And right now, you saw Fitzgerald get a great run out of there, so he's opened up that gap. That Lexus horsepower is going to, you know, really protect him as he goes down the straightaway from getting past. But we see right now that Pierre's under pressure. This is going to be interesting getting the end of the straightaway.
Here comes John Prohl. Look at this, side by side. The Acura and the Audi. The Acura holds ground. Great stuff from John Prohl.
He's just got to stick that a little bit harder. He's got a little bit harder commitment there, and he'll make that pass.
Well, we've had a nice, steady, clean start. The opening stanza, almost 10 laps old, has been very clean cut so far, but the pressure is rising and the action is intensifying. Stay with us here on Speed. More coming up.
By winning the 24-hour of Le Mans 3 years in a row with the same driving team, we rewrote history. We are about to rewrite it again.
There's a rhythm to the road, and we have the Toyo tire to fit you, like the Proxys High Performance line featuring the T1S for the ultimate and ultra-high performance, the affordable FZ4 high-performance radial, and the ST for full-size sport trucks and SUVs. Tire dealers themselves have named Toyo #1 in product quality. That's harmony with tire dealers, drivers, and the road.
It's our 20th anniversary, and we're throwing a party. Reserve your place for the double-decade celebration and meet me and Hooters girls past and present at Paris, Las Vegas. Come to Hooters today and test your knowledge of our 20-year trivia to win a trip to Vegas and a chance to play blackjack with me for $1 million. Even if you don't win, you can still party. Call 888-PARTY20 to reserve your place today. It's a delightfully double decade. Hooters 20th anniversary.
Over 20 years ago, we introduced the first quattro all-wheel drive race car and turned the world upside down. We are about to do it again.
Street courses, ovals, super speedways. Champ Cars racing wheel to wheel, turn for turn, lap for lap. Catch the Champ Car World Series all season long on Speed.
You're watching round 2 of the Speed Touring Car Championship from Mosport International Raceway here in Ontario, Canada. And while we're away, we have got a new race leader. And there has been a massive shuffle because Bill Aublin in the Turner Motorsports BMW finds himself in second. John Prawl is in third, and look at that, our pole man Mike Fitzgerald is now fighting for third spot.
Yeah, and you saw Prawl right there defending the inside from Fitzgerald. We're going to, I'm sure, find out how all this happened, but Fitzgerald, boy, there's nothing more frustrating than leading an event, you know, being in control, and then boom, one lap later you're running in fourth place. Kleinenberg, he's got to be loving this. This is the first time he's led a race this year, and he's a guy that knows how to not only lead races but win them. Billy Auberlin, of course, behind him is going to be challenging him, and this is going to be the first serious battle we've seen between these two guys this year, and it's going to be great.
Clyde Newbing had a storming drive at Sebring, qualified 6th, eventually got 2nd, and did not give up right till the very end. And here we have our top 2 again fighting. Now let's have a look at that replay. Here's the lead change, Moss corner.
Yeah, Moss corner, you can see Kleinenberg just stuck it down there inside him. A great move, and Fitzgerald being offline lost all his momentum. And in these cars, momentum is huge. You get offline, you can't get to the gas going on that long straightaway. You throw out an anchor no matter how much horsepower you have. You know, right now we see Billy pressuring Pierre, and it's going to be interesting to see how they deal with this traffic that they're going to be coming up to in about 2 corners.
And with that lead change, Johnny, simple fact that Auberlin and Prawl were lining up, and bang, they were there, right time, right spot.
Well, you know, you got to give Pierre Kleinenberg a great deal of credit because he made a super move stuffing his car underneath there. And not only did he get the position, but he forced Fitzgerald way offline and opened up the door for 2, 3, 4 competitors to get through.
Keep in mind that since Sebring, Bill Auberlin has received some extra weight in the Turner Motorsport BMW due to that win. So he's running a little heavier than usual this weekend, and it's not affecting him a great deal. Sitting in a good, strong 2nd place at the moment, still very early approaching the halfway mark in this one. Prawl, then Fitzgerald, then it's Matt Plum having his best drive of the year in 5th.
You know, we really do have to mention Prawl because he has done a super job. He qualified 10th. You know, here he is running in 3rd place against some really great experienced drivers. And right now it looks like he's closing a little bit on Auberlin. And, you know, Fitzgerald, you know, before he got past, he'd been sliding around a little bit. I see a yellow flag there. I don't know whether we got someone off there. They must be going right now because we're seeing green flags again. But, you know, Prawl really has done a super job. It's going to be interesting to see whether Fitzgerald, you know, again, as quick as he showed early in this race, is going to be able to get back up to him, pressure him, see if he can't get that position back.
And John's saying, yeah, this is a little more like it. He started 15th, finished 14th at Sebring, and he has been running at the strong end of the field right from the word-go. Look at Mike Fitzgerald. Got incredibly sideways. What a save. He's lost the position. Matt Plum snuck up the inside. Did you see that?
That was a beautiful save, but again, it goes back to what I mentioned, you know, before the break there. As you're coming down that hill, you're turning, you're slowing down, you're on the brakes. It's so easy to make a technical mistake there, which was what happened to Fitzgerald. He's got his car a little bit crossed up, wasn't as balanced, cost him the position.
Wow, great piece of driving, Mike Fitzgerald. Tremendous save. It could very nearly have been all over. 1st and 2nd, Pierre Klein-Newbing, Bill Auberlin, Acura RSX versus the BMW 325i. And they've got enough breathing space over John Prawl in 3rd to just be consumed by their own battle.
Billy looks really good through that tight stuff. He can stay with them. You know, we'll try to get a good look next time they go down the Andretti straightaway and see, you know, how they seem to compare horsepower-wise. But right now, it looks like a pretty good fight.
We take a look at another BMW. Ken Dobson now in his 3rd full season of the Speed Touring Car Championship. The Chili Pepper Racing entry, having a good run. Enjoys Mosport. Let's get an update on it from Calvin.
Ken Dobson, after many heartbreaks, finally scored his first touring car victory here at Mosport last year. Here today, we see him struggling just a little bit. He's running the old-style BMW motor, the 2.5, codenamed M50. A lot of the guys, particularly Billy Oberlin up front, have the new M54 motor. What is it worth? Well, it's got about 1,000 RPM more in the range, and they reckon that's worth about 20 to 30 horsepower. So Ken's looking forward to getting that motor underneath his skin for a Road Atlanta in about 6 weeks.
Pretty big difference, Johnny, an extra 1,000.
Boy, you know, you take anything you can get in this kind of a category. But Ken's doing a great job. You know, he's always been an extremely clean driver. We don't see him getting into too much trouble, and I think once he gets the added horsepower, then he'll be right up there with Billy and Kleineming and Fitzgerald and all the rest of the boys. You know, this is a racetrack, though, where, boy, if you're giving up 20 horsepower, especially on that uphill long straightaway, you're going to have your work cut out for you.
Pierre Klein-Ubing continues to dominate this race, and here on this Mosport circuit, he is well accustomed to finishing on the podium, if not winning. Stick around, plenty more coming up.
I am a soldier. An army of one. Even though I am part of the strongest army in the world, I am my own force. With the latest technology, training, and support, who I am has become better than who I was. And I'll be the first to tell you, the might of the U.S. Army doesn't lie in numbers. It lies in soldiers like me. Specialist Mark DeCarli. I am an army of one, and you can see my strength.
Automobile Magazine All-Star, 5 years in a row.
Since the current BMW 5 Series was first introduced, we've found very little to improve on.
Winner, $35,000 to $40,000 category, AAA Auto Guide.
And apparently, many others would agree. BMW, the ultimate driving machine.
All right, look at what's on Speed tonight at 7, a special edition of Speed News Saturday. Then at 9, Butch Miller gets set for ASA Racing Series live from Cedar Rapids. That's all tonight, only on Speed.
Speed Channel's coverage of the Speed Touring Car Championship is brought to you by the United States Army, an army of one, and by Audi. In technology, performance and design, our goal remains constant. Never follow. And Pierre Klein-Ubing certainly isn't following anyone. The Brazilian continues to lead and lead well, but he's got the points leader Bill Oberlin all over him.
Billy's doing a super job. You know, again, there's still a long way to go in this race. Billy might be biding his time, looking after his car, just trying to keep the pressure up, and wait till traffic, because if you make your move right before you get to traffic, a lot of times that traffic can help you open up a gap.
Remember, it's a big workload this year for Bill Oberlin, the Californian. Not only is he competing in the Speed Touring Car Championship, the SCCA World Challenge, he also runs for the Prototype Technologies Group, Tom Milner's organization, in the Speed GT Championship also, and they're looking for a much stronger run than they had at Sebring here in Mosport also. So Bill spends plenty of time on the track throughout the weekend. Look at this, the battle's on for third, BMW versus Audi. Matt Plum and John Prohl, oh, they almost touch. This is good close racing.
This is beautiful. Prohl again on the outside. He's not going to be able to get that position, but boy, that's classic touring car racing right there. These cars running door handle to door handle the whole straightaway. See who's going to be the first to go to the brakes.
We ride with Mike Fitzgerald. Alexis holding off Will Turner, owner of Turner Motorsports, as the front runners coming up on traffic. Interesting to see what Mike Fitzgerald can do if this is where he's at now after such a strong start. Right behind is Will Turner, keeping him at bay. Meanwhile, they start to work through traffic. That's Jeff Pabst the second Stasis Engineering car. And Johnny, talk us through that. What's it like when you know you're a much faster car and you're trying to weave your way through the traffic? You have to be extra attentive.
You know, you certainly do, but I always try to take the mindset of being as aggressive as possible. It's always when you're tentative that you tend to have contact with guys. So I try to, you know, stick my car in there as hard and aggressively as we can, which is exactly what you saw Kleinebing do, Arberlin do. All these guys are doing a great job in traffic. You know, you got to mention Pierre. He's doing a super job controlling this race. He's doing a great job getting through traffic. My goodness, that is close.
Boy, that Audi's got some straight line speed.
Prohl just pulled off that pass this time. He got to the inside line, so he's going to be able to hold third position here. Super job.
First and second remains the same. Pierre Klein-Ubing, 3 times a champion in this category. And now look at this, Mike Fitzgerald starts to work on the BMW of Matt Plum as well. So the Lexus is coming back.
Good move, and I tell you what, he did a great job positioning his car there. Plum, okay, he's going to fall back to 5th. The war's not over, though. He's going to try to make come up the inside of Fitzgerald. But right now, the guy that's really enjoying himself is Prohl, because he's gotten loose a little bit. Hopefully he can focus on running down Arberlin now, who's running in second place.
Will Turner and Ken Dobson aren't done with yet either. Will Turner wants to get amongst this, and he's all over Matt Plum. Up front, look at that, there's a huge margin, second to third. John Prohl, is he able to creep away now from Mike Fitzgerald?
You know, when you're Plum, your mindset gets really messed up because you're in position, you're running third, then boom, 3 or 4 corners, you're back down to 5th, 6th place. It's frustrating.
Things continuing to go well for Pierre Klein-Ubing. We'll have the closing stages after this.
Inside's the difference. It's what's inside that makes the difference. Between just handling the road, attacking, and scorching the pavement. Between just moving and riding curves like you're on rails. Between just going and tearing the wind in half. The 227 horsepower, turbocharged, all-wheel drive Subaru WRX. Subaru, driven by what's inside.
ASA Racing on Speed. Saturday night racing the way it was meant to be. High-speed, door-banging, flat-out short-track racing. ASA Race Series, Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Live tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern, exclusively on Speed.
Real people, real results in 6 weeks.
I'm a whole new person. In just 6 weeks, I lost 20 pounds, which is just fantastic.
I think I lost 5 inches around my tummy.
In 6 weeks, I lost 19.5 pounds.
Call now to get a free video that tells you all about the home gym that guarantees real results for real people just like you. Bowflex.
Working out with Bowflex was fun.
I was able to transition from one exercise to another very seamlessly.
All it takes is one simple workout, 20 minutes, 3 times a week.
I like the leg curls. You can just really feel you're working the backs of your legs.
Everything has surprised me. The way I look, the way I feel.
I feel like I could take on the world. You know, grr.
Real people, real results, real Bowflex. Call 1-800-789-9200 to get your free video and brochure and check out the entire Bowflex lineup. That's 1-800-789-9200.
The Speed Touring Car Championship continues here at Mosport International Raceway in Canada. And while we're away, nothing changed up front, at least anyway. And as you can see on the screen there, Johnny, we're getting a flashing yellow light. There's some speculation that we are going full course caution.
Yeah, you know what? I haven't seen what that is. And right there, you saw Kleinebing putting his arm up in the rear view mirror, mentioning to Arberlin, yes, we are going to have a pace car. And but he was signaling Billy that he was getting out of it. And there we see Neil Sapp. That looks like it is going into Moss Corner. I don't know what the problem was. Hopefully we'll get a replay of that. But boy, you know what? This is the last thing that Kleinebing wants because it closes up the gap.
Yeah.
And you know, where it was just he and Billy, now you're going to throw a couple more names into the fray.
Let's take a look at it. And it was the tail end of it.
Boy, you know, that's tough to figure out. Again, remember when you're coming into that corner, your car is so unbalanced. He could have locked a tire, had a mechanical problem. Again, you know, Neil's quite an experienced driver, so we'll give him the benefit of the doubt on this one. He's won a lot of races. He had a great 2001, and so we're going to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Well, let's take another look, Johnny. This will tell us more.
Boy, you know what? I think he just really messed up on the entry there. He was offline coming down the hill. trying to keep the car straight. He probably just locked it up, bad gear change, and that was bad luck for Neil.
Well, pressure's on Clyde Newbing up front. Let's hear from Calvin Fish. He's in the pits with the team.
Jerome overseeing the RSX program. A lot of progress been made since round 1 in Sebring, but Billy Oberlin rocked his tail now as we hear the caution. What about the end of this race today?
I think I talked to Pierre a little bit, and he's working hard, and he said he's just holding his own, but he thinks Bill's going to have it for him at the end. I don't think he's going to be able to hold him off for another few laps.
Is that car going to have a little wider track at the end?
It's as wide as it can be, but it's a horsepower issue.
All right, we'll see what happens. It's going to be fun.
Johnny, pressure. Clyde Newbing isn't a champion for nothing. Can he handle this pressure? Do you think Oberlin's got something for him?
You know what I mean? Pierre's a great champion in these cars, and he's a master of these cars. So, I don't think pressure's a problem. I love hearing it, though, that it's horsepower. Everyone always claims the other guy has more horsepower. We'll find out here in a little bit.
Yeah, when we come back, we'll go green. Stay with us.
Even in the beginning, we were building some of the most technologically advanced cars in the world. We still are.
There are a lot of reasons to talk life insurance with Prudential Financial. After all, we've been growing wealth and protecting it for 125 years, with hundreds of offices all over the country, where we offer professional one-on-one advice to help you find the coverage you need at a price you'll like, all from a name you know and trust. Talk to the people with more than $1 trillion of life insurance in force today. Prudential Financial, growing and protecting your wealth.
Introducing Cayenne, pure Porsche in a most unexpected form.
There's a rhythm to the road, and we have the Toyo tire to fit you. Like the versatile Toyo Open Country AT, with all-terrain performance, rugged good looks, and great handling. For virtually any pickup, van, or SUV, even lifted trucks. Tire dealers themselves have named Toyo #1 in product quality. That's harmony with tire dealers, drivers, and the road.
By winning the 24-Hour of Le Mans 3 years in a row with the same driving team, we rewrote history. We are about to rewrite it again.
Before we get back to racing, let's take a look at some memories of Mosport, and in particular, Pierre Clyde Newbing's success here back in 1997, racing with Michael Gallardi, his then teammate, real-time racing. Clyde Newbing, although it was close, was able to take it all the way to the line.
These best guys up there. So I gotta thank all my crew, my girlfriend at home, and my family in Brazil, and all the real-time racing team and the Acura guys for this win.
Well, that was 1997. This is 2000, and there was absolutely no pressure, no teammate, no one near him. Pierre was able to cruise to the line for his second victory at this wonderful Canadian circuit. But 2001 was a different story. A new teammate and a new situation. Hugh Plum was his teammate back then at Real-Time Racing, and he offers Hugh an alternative line to the finish line. Just give you a bit of a helping hand there, Hugh. Pierre slips through on the inside, and guess what's waiting around the final corner, the checkered flag, and the Brazilian makes it 3. You would never have given anyone a helping hand like that, Johnny, in your days, would you?
Depends how good a teammate he is. But you know what? And that's one thing that Pierre's got going for him right now. This racetrack likes him. He likes this racetrack. And every time you've won a lot of the circuit, it's really easy to get your mindset where it needs to be. And he obviously knows how to protect his line. He's doing a great job against Billy right now. And I'm expecting for the rest of the race, he's not going to make it easy for Oberlin to get by.
Here's our top 10 at the moment. Pierre Clyde Newbing, Bill Oberlin, Mike Fitzgerald, John Prawl, who's had the race of the year so far, Will Turner, then the rookie, Matt Plum is in there. It's close. So Fitzgerald is on the comeback, Klein Ubing is defending, Oberlin is charging. It's all set up for a great finish.
And you know what? Oberlin is loving this, because you know what? If he doesn't think he's got anything for that Acura, horsepower-wise or anything-wise, this restart, it gives him an opportunity to get a jump. So it's going to be neat to see how Pierre handles the whole field here and whether or not he can hold on to that lead.
Right, let's get ready to go green. Here we go. Caution period is over. And this is a race to the finish. Pierre Klein Ubing in the real-time racing Acura RSX. Bill Oberlin, Mike Fitzgerald, Prawl, and Will Turner already coming under pressure from Matt Plum. We ride with Fitzgerald.
Again, this is Fitzgerald's opportunity to get back in the hunt. He's probably still thinking that Bud for Kleineving coming underneath him on into Moss Corner, he's leading this race. So he wants to get back up there and get into the fight. Pierre had a great restart though. I mean, he waited to about the apex of the corner, then pulled the trigger. There really wasn't anything that Billy could do because he was too close behind him. So good job on the restart by Kleineving, and Fitzgerald right now, he's got the bit between his teeth. He's going to try to run these boys down.
I mean, that caution, I would hazard a guess, came at the perfect time for Mike Fitzgerald.
You know, it really did. And one thing on other, you know, if I'm Bill Oberlin and I'm Fitzgerald, I'm one of these guys behind Pierre, I want traffic. Okay, I want guys that are going to slow those guys in front of me down, give me an opportunity to catch them. You get that full course caution, it works in Pierre's favor now because he's got a clean racetrack, nobody's in front of him, he can push as hard as he can.
Look at the racing further back. They are getting right into it. Chuck Hemmingson gets around Ken Dobson. We haven't seen a whole lot of Chuck in this race in the Mazda so far because the action's been so thick and fast up front. He gains an extra position there. And the quiet achiever so far has been Will Turner. Look at him, he snuck up there into fourth. Just one position back from his teammate. One driver in between he and Bill Oberlin, and that's the guy we ride with now, Mike Fitzgerald. A little bit of dirt on the entry to the Andretti straight there. The lap's ticking down. Can Pierre Klein Ubing hold on?
He's doing a great job. Oberlin right behind him. Both of them running really clean lines. I think we got a really good match here. I mean, you know, remember, Oberlin's carrying that 50 pounds, and that's not easy to do. And that, considering he's doing a great job, you know, going against what Kleineving's mechanic said, you know, he thinks that the BMW has the horsepower right now on the Acura. I disagree. You watch on those runs up the straightaway, looks like an even fight.
Well, what a totally different race to Sebring. It was Oberlin on pole, and he ran away with it. It is far from that here in Canada. Stay with us. More from Mosport coming up.
Inside's the difference.
It's what's inside that makes the difference. Between just handling the road, attacking, and scorching the pavement. Between just moving and riding curves like you're on rails. Between just going and tearing the wind in half. The 227 horsepower, turbocharged, all-wheel drive Subaru WRX. Subaru, driven by what's inside.
All right, look at what's on Speed tonight at 7, a special edition of Speed News Saturday. Then at 9, Butch Miller gets set for ASA Racing Series live from Cedar Rapids. That's all tonight, only on Speed.
They work for the biggest names in racing. They build the world's fastest race cars. But can they handle the junkyard?
Gentlemen, stop your engines!
Junkyard Mega Awards brings together 3 teams of engineers from the 3 major racing leagues in the Ultimate Junkyard Challenge. Build a red-hot race car from trash in just 10 hours. Who will win the Speedway Showdown? Sunday at 9, only on TLC. Bring it on!
NBA TV presents NBA action in high definition. Experience NBA basketball like never before. It's so real you can touch it. Now, NBA TV comes to you in state-of-the-art high definition. You'll have to see it to believe it. Watch the world's greatest athletes, larger than life. NBA TV in high definition. Now available daily on DirecTV. It's fantastic.
Well, if you enjoyed those Mosport memories earlier, we've got some more for you now. Michael Gallardi, Pierre Klein Ubing, and Taz Harvey on the inside in the number 8. Gives Klein Ubing a shove. Klein Ubing shoves him back, then kind of drives to an outside line. Harvey tags him, sends him into the Armco barrier, and then watch this.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, Kleinebing just turned him backwards here. I tell you what, that was, you know, you got to keep that stuff better fighting in the pits and on the racetrack, but that was bad luck for Harvey because it looked like he had a great race going that day.
And the cleanest one of all to come across the line and take the win, Michael Galafi. Whoa, pretty savage Mosport memories, huh?
Well, you know what? It just shows that Kleinebing, he's not afraid to mix it up here. And now I don't know whether Billy knows that, but as they come down by Andretti straightaway, we see Billy tucked up right underneath him. We'll see whether or not he's going to be able to make a move on here, but if Pierre's smart, he's going to defend that inside line.
Kleinebing, Oberlin, Mike Fitzgerald. There is just a little over 1 lap remaining here at Mosport. 2.5 miles left to run. What has the Lexus of Fitzgerald got? More to the point, what's Oberlin got for Kleinebing?
I mean, Billy's right on him. He's as close as he can get without touching him. He's running a really clean race. If we come underneath the white flag here, see how defensive Kleinebing's going to be. Billy's really got to pull out all the stops, so if he is going to get by him. I think these cars are just too evenly matched. Boy, you see Pierre using all the racetrack and then some there.
He knows the pressure's on. This is it. It is the race to the line. And as we mentioned before we went to the break, a completely different race to the one that we had in Sebring, where Oberlin dominated, ran away with it, wasn't challenged. This is a race to the flag. Pierre again up on the ripple strip, the car bouncing around the place. The Lexus of Mike Fitzgerald, he's not done. The second Turner Motorsports BMW, Will Turner, he's still in this fight as well.
Coming down the hill here, Kleinebing's going to protect that inside line. See if Billy can't do to him what he did to Fitzgerald. Kleinebing caping a tighter line there. Cape preventing that. Now we come down the long straightaway. We'll see if that BMW has the horsepower. I really don't think I've seen in previous laps that he does to get by the Acura. The Acura really seems to get out of the hole there really well. 3
different makes in the top 3 positions. It's an Acura, a BMW, and a Lexus. And look at this further back. The racing's continuing. Chuck Hemmingson and Ken Dobson, those two are still at it. Half a lap left to run here at Mosport, and Oberlin thinks about it, so too does Fitzgerald. But Pierre Kleinebing, could this be his first victory of the year?
He's looking really good. I mean, only 2 corners left here. He's not likely to make a mistake, and Billy's, I don't really think, is close enough to take advantage of it. Fitzgerald, though, may be able to make a run.
This is it. We've had 2 different pole sitters, and now 2 different winners for real-time racing. Kleinebing does it. Brings up win number 1 of the year and continues what has been a strong tradition of success here at Mosport. Tremendous run from the Brazilian. Kleinebing does it. There he is, thoroughly delighted with an extraordinary strong run.
You know,
he real-time racing boys are pleased as well.
Lee, he did a super job all around. I mean, again, great job controlling the race, but a beautiful job passing Fitzgerald going onto the straightaway there. He did a super job all day today.
1 victory to BMW, 1 victory to Acura. The manufacturer's fight for this championship is on like you wouldn't believe. We'll be back after this to wrap things up, but one thing's for sure, that guy will still be smiling.
Out here, control is everything. On the track or the road, a B&M manual sport shifter will improve your driving performance, delivering more control and quicker shifts with up to 50% shorter throws than stock shifters. B&M Precision Machines stainless steel and T6 aluminum to craft the highest quality sport shifters in the world. So good they come with a 1,000,000-mile warranty. For the B&M dealer near you, log on to bmracing.com. B&M Sport Shifters. Improve the art of driving.
The BMW 5 Series has changed very little since its introduction in 1997. And with good reason. Because over the last 7 years, it's won more awards and accolades than any other car in its class. Begging the question, what could possibly be changed to improve it? The least price. BMW, the ultimate driving machine.
The climb to the top is never easy. To make it, you need the biggest ATV Honda has ever built. 650 cc's, fully independent rear suspension, sport-tuned automatic. The Rincon from Honda. To get here, you've got to be the best on earth.
Sunday on Speed. Start your race day at noon with MotoGP World Championship, the French Grand Prix, World Championship Racing, and world-class speed. At 2, the Trans Am Race Series from Mosport. For 38 years, American muscle versus the best sports cars in the world. Later at 9, relive some of the greatest moments in racing history on Formula One Decade, the 1993 Brazilian Grand Prix. That's all Sunday only on Speed.
Speed Channel's coverage of the Speed Touring Car Championship is brought to you by B&M Racing and Performance Products, world leader in shifter technology.
Well, 17 wins, 3 driver championships. Pierre, how important was this win to you today with Billy Oberlin on your tail?
Oh, it's excellent, especially because I heard you giving me some abuse of the radio there. So I felt the pressure to go forward. I had to win for Calvin, you know, otherwise you would have been picking on me the rest of the year. But, you know, hands down to this crew real time, man. The car is awesome. Went testing in one day and they figured out a bunch of stuff and showed up today, made a difference.
We could have a classic season with you now on form of the new RSX and Billy Oberlin in the field for the whole year. It should be really interesting.
Yeah, you know, I think we're in the hunt, both of us now, so it'll be up to us to decide later on, I hope.
All right, great job today, Pierre.
Johnny, the ingredients are there for a great season.
There really are. You know, we talk a lot about Oberlin and Kleinebing, but, you know, as we look at round 2 finishing here, Fitzgerald, Turner, Prohl, very impressed with Prohl today. He did a great job, but, you know, you go down the field here, everyone's much stronger here at Mosport than everyone was at Sebring.
And the rookies in the top 10 as well, with Plum and Pappas and Endicott. 19th there, Christian Elder. He wins the Sunoco Hard Charger Award from 37th on the grid to 19th. And a nice job. We look at the guys further down the order. And back in 38th, Mike Flynn. He's also a winner today. He wins our B&M Whole Shot Award for coming from 43rd to 37th on the first lap.
Of course, bad luck for Jeff Altenberg. Boy, you know, I really thought he was going to be there mixing in amongst them all, and we got to look forward to him at Lime Rock getting towards the front.
Time to hear from our runner-up. Here's Bill Oberlin.
Well, runner-up here today, winner of round 1, Bill Oberlin. We said when Pierre Kleinebing gets on form, it should be a classic battle with you two. We certainly saw one today.
Yeah, I mean, he was strong today. He's got power now on me. Everybody had power on me, it seemed like, going up the back straight. I couldn't catch him, and there's really nowhere else to pass. You have to shove it in here and there. And the Turner Motorsport H&R Sprint car was awesome. The crew prepared a great car. I didn't get to practice at all before qualifying. We wound up 8th, which wasn't our best showing. And then I noticed that the reward weight that you get, the 40 pounds, starts to play a big part on these small engines. You know, that's maybe why I can't lug this stuff up the hill anymore. But I think second's good. We're going to come out with the points. We're going to take this little nimble car and we're going to go to Lime Rock and we're going to kick some butt there.
The real-time boys were looking around that new RSX. They didn't see a scratch. They're surprised.
It's not my job to hit anybody. I don't do that. You know, I mean, I raced him fair and square. He raced right back. He's a professional. He knows what he's doing. And I was just waiting for him to make a mistake. He made like 1 or 2, but I couldn't capitalize on him. And, you know, Pierre's a great driver. That's why he's champion in this place. It's going to take a little bit of work for me to just come in and beat him. But, you know, we're up for the challenge.
All right, mate. Great job today.
Thanks.
Bill Oberlin, satisfied, but I don't think thoroughly happy. Wasn't the usual smiley Bill that we usually see, but he does have a reason to smile because he has the edge over Pierre Kleinebing, only just, and then Mike Fitzgerald, the Lexus driver, maintains 3rd in the championship ahead of Will Turner. We look back, top place rookie Tim Pappas. Time to hear from our 3rd place driver and our pole sitter. Here's Mike Fitzgerald.
Well, pole sitter Mike Fitzgerald finishes 3rd. I guess the question is, how was the butt wiggle today?
It's much improved, Calvin. The car actually hung in there pretty well. I had the tires kind of go away on me in the middle of the race a little bit and kind of fell back some, but then that caution at the end helped me out a lot. I really felt like, you know, we ran pretty strong, but we only had about 3 laps, so I was pretty much stuck where I was at that point.
Potentially this car is good, though. You think you can win this with this car this year?
Yeah, I mean, this is a much better car than what we had last year. Of course, you know, it seems like everybody has a better car because we're all going faster, but the team FBR Transport Lexus is definitely picking up the pace, and I feel like it's a lot more consistent race car than we've had in the past.
All right, mate, great job.
Thanks, Calvin.
It was a great job by Mike Fitzgerald, and this is what the Speed Touring Car Championship is all about, mixing it up, different pole sitters, different winners. Johnny, impressed with that one?
Really impressed. We had a real close race, which is characteristic for this class. I think we're going to see everyone throughout the year, all the manufacturers getting more competitive, better racing.
Next round of the series is at Lime Rock, Connecticut. Hoping you can join us for then. But stick around now on Speed. The GT Championship is coming up.